Hi guys, my name is Trinh and today I'm here to do my Tbr Cart Tour. So I'm very excited for this video because I've been planning this video for like the past week or so and I finally have the time to film it. I'm kneeling on a pillow right now, so hopefully I can get this video over real quick because I have a friend coming over in like an hour and then I have to go to a party. So a lot of things are happening today, but I really wanted to take the time out to film this video really quickly. I actually went to Target and I bought this 3-tier rolling cart, and I will have the link down below because this cart is amazing. It's only $30. This is what the cart looks like. There are 3 levels. Here is a magnet of friends and it's just Joey saying how you doing. I got this from a friend, my friend Monique. She gave me this years ago back when we were in high school, so I place it right here because I think it looks kind of cute. So let's start with the first section right here. So these are the books that are like my #1 priority, like the books that I want to read ASAP. I just realized, why are the taller books over here? Oh my god, Trent, you fucked up. Basically, I like to organize my books by height, so I don't know why these books are over here because they're tall, but whatever. Starting from the left, we have a poetry book called Soul Like Thunder by Sophia Elaine Hansen. I have had this book for almost a year now, so I really want to read it, and since it's a poetry book, it should be a quick read. So yeah, I have it on the first shelf. And then this book right here is a very recent purchase of mine. So you know, I love Avatar: The Last Airbender, so of course I needed The Last Adventures, and basically it's just a bunch of things that are not in the show. So I cannot wait to read this and see what part they took out from the show and put it in this comic book, you know, or like graphic novel, whatever. So I have this. I bought this I think last week, so I was very excited with that purchase. And also last week when I was at Target, I bought The Sun and Her Flowers by Ruby Course. So this is a poetry book. I've been wanting this for a long time, so I decided to purchase it, and I got this for 20% off. So I really want to read this ASAP, so I place it on the first bookshelf, I guess. It's not a bookshelf, the first tier. There we go. And then this book is also a very recent purchase. I got this from thriftbooks.com. This is The Babysitter's Club #6, Chrissy's Big Days. I really want to read this because it's really quick. Like I can finish this book in an hour or so. So I really want to read this. The birds are chirping. I'm filming a video. I think the next few books are all novels. So let's start with these 2 books. So yeah, I've been wanting to read these 2 books for so long. I put these books on the first tier because I have to remind myself like, hey, finish these books so you can finish the series. So this is Shiny Broken Pieces by Sona Karipotra and Daniel Clayton. I just need to read this book to finish the duology, the Tiny Broken Things. No, Tiny Pretty Things. Oh my god, is it? Yeah, Tiny Pretty Things duology. So I read the first book at the end of 2017 and I really want to read this book so I can finish the duology. So it's on the first tier. And then here I have Wicked Heart by Lisa Raven. So this is like the 3rd book in the series. I forgot what it's called, but I read the first 2 books a long time ago and I have this book, so I need to read this book to finish the series. So it's on the first tier. And then here I have The Darkest Part of the Forest by Holly Black. I really want to read this book because I've been told that I should read this before I read the Cruel Prince trilogy, or like, yeah, trilogy. It's a trilogy, right? Anyway, I have the first 2 books, so I might as well start with this book and then read The Cruel Prince, The Wicked Kingdom, The Wicked King. Oh my god. Anyway, I just need to, you know, start with this book, so I have it. And then I have Odd One Out, which is an arc that I received in 2018, I believe, at BookCon. So this is Nick Stone's like newest novel, like her recent novel that came out at the end of 2018. So I have the arc and I really want to read it because I'm gonna make Nick Stone soon. I think I am. I don't know. This is an arc and it's signed already, so this is really cool. So yeah, I really want to read this because I actually really enjoy Dear Martin. I'm very curious on this book and what it's about, so I have it on the first tier. I have 2 books by Christina Lauren because I haven't read a novel by Christina Lauren in so long, and I really want to read Roomies because this is the next book that I want to read because I like to read their books in publication order. So I need to read Roomies, and then I also really want to read Autobiography, which is a young adult novel from them, and I have heard nothing but amazing things about this book. So I really want to get back into the Christina Lauren bandwagon because I love their books so much, but I haven't read their books in almost a year, so I really need to fix that situation. So I have 2 options on the first tier when it comes to Christina Lauren. And then I have 2 books by Maureen Gu. So this is, I believe, in a thing called Love, and then this one is called The Way You Make Me Feel. I really want to read these 2 books in April because in May it is Asian American Pacific Heritage Month, something like that. So I really want to read some books by Asian authors about Asian main characters so I can do a recommendation video in in May. So I really want to read these 2 books in April because that makes sense in my mind. The next 3 books are books that I want to reread. So if you haven't watched my top 5 books I want to reread in 2019, I did mention these 3 books in that video. So I really want to reread these books, you know, so I can continue with the series, I guess. I don't know. So here I have Shadow and Bone by Leigh Bardugo. I have Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets by J.K. Rowling. I really need to read the second book so I can continue with the rest of the series. And I cannot believe I've been putting this off for so long because I'm reading so many books right now and it's really hard to just find the time to read Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. And then this is Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas. I really want to reread the entire series. I don't remember shit and I really want to reread the first book and then the second book and then the third book. So here I have Throne of Glass. And then last week when I went to Target, you know, I bought The Sun and Her Flowers, The Mermaid's Voice returns in this one, and then I also bought Daisy Jones and the Six by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I have heard nothing but amazing things about this book and I really want to read it, and I think I will read this in April with Sandy from Sandy Reads a Lot because we want to buddy read this book. So we're going to try to read this in the beginning of April. So Sandy, if you're watching this, we are ready. Okay, we're done with the first tier, so now we can jump right into the second tier. This is the second tier and these are the books that I want to read but not immediately. So every time I take a book from this spot, you know, from the first tier, I usually put a book from like the second tier up top. So it reminds me to be like, hey, remember to read the books from these tiers. So these books do move up. I'm not gonna lie, sometimes it's hard to pull the books out from the front. Oh my god, my mind. But since the rolling cart is out here on display, I can actually put the books from behind, so this is actually much easier for my ass. So here the first book we have is A Series of Unfortunate Events, The Bad Beginning. So this is the first book and there are 13 books in this series and I have not read any of them, and I know a lot of people love the series, so I really want to start the series. So I have the first book, The Bad Beginning. Yeah, The Bad Beginning. The second book I have is The Gilded King by Josie Chaffrey. So this is a book that is sent by the author and I have not read it yet. So I really want to read it because I want to know what it is about and I do want to support indie authors. So I have this book on the second tier. So hopefully this book will move up and then eventually I will read it. The next book is Attachments by Rainbow Rowell. I got this book a long time ago and I have not read this book, and I know a lot of people love this book and it's been a while since I've read a Rainbow Rowell novel. So I really want to pick this up and read it and see if it's good or not. I have 2 poetry books right here. So this is Poems of Rebellion. Wait, no, never mind. This is called Wild Embers, Poems of Rebellion, Fire, and Beauty, and this is by Nikita Giles. I got this book for free at BookCon and the author signed it for me, which is so cool. So thank you so much, Nikita Giles. And then I got Honeybee by Trista Mateer, and this is also signed. And I met her at BookCon last year, so I really want to read these poetry books. The next book is All American Boys by Jason Reynolds and Brennan Kiley, and I got this book last year and I still have not read it yet. So I really want to read this book and see if it's good or not because my friend Marsha recommended me this book, so I really want to read her book recommendations. I just noticed that a lot of these books are first book of a series, so I do want to start a few series, but at the same time I feel like now is kind of annoying to start a series because it means starting a new commitment. I have Legend by Marie Lu, so I really want to read this book because I have not read a book by Marie Lu, and even though this book is like so old and the hype has died down, actually no, I think the 4th book is coming out. Okay, so I guess the hype is coming back a little bit, but I still want to read this book because I do want to know what it is about. This is The Trials of Apollo. This is the first book, The Hidden Oracle by Rick Riordan, and I really want to read this book because I miss Rick Riordan's books and I don't have time to reread the Percy Jackson series and then also the Heroes of Olympus series, so I might as well start this book. And then here I have A Study in Charlotte by Brittany Cavallaro, and I really want to start this series because Rocky from Blonde with a Book loves this series and she loves the first book and such, so I really want to read this book to see what it's about. But I don't know much about Sherlock Holmes and Watson and shit like that, so I'm kind of nervous to start a series, but I think I will enjoy it. I'm not sure yet, but I think I will enjoy it. And then this book is called The Bells by Danielle Clayton, and I've had this book for almost a year now. I have it signed by the author, which is really cool, so I really want to read this book because I want to know what it's about, and I've heard decent things about this book. So yeah, I have this book on the second tier. And then here I have Scythe by Neil Schusterman, and I have heard nothing but amazing things about this book, so I really want to start the first book, and I do have the second book in my possession, so you know, if I enjoy the first book I have the second book ready to read. So yeah, this is on the second tier. And then these two books are like the third book of the series, I guess. So here I have In the Afterlife by Alexandra Bracken. I really need to read this book to finish the trilogy. Like, I keep putting this off because I'm not a huge fan of the Darkest Minds trilogy, but I do want to read the third book to know how everything will be wrapped up. So I have it in my possession. And then here I have Leah on the Offbeat by Becky Albertalli, and oh my, this cover is so pretty now that I think about it. Anyway, I have this book because I just need to finish this book to finish the series overall. So, you know, I have it. I think this is signed too. Oh my god, I have so many books signed. Yep, signed right here, Becky Albertalli. And then here, the last book on the second tier is Children of Blood and Bone by Tomi Adeyemi. So I have heard nothing but amazing things about this book, but then also there are some people who don't like this book, so I find it very interesting. So I have this book signed, I believe, to Trinh by Tomi Adeyemi right here, so which is really cool. And like I said, I want to read this book because I want to know what it's about, or like know more about the plot and the characters and such. So I have this book right here and I want to read it. That's why is on this cart. So we're on the last tier, which requires me lying down. Oh my god, I'm wearing a skirt right now, so this video could go horribly wrong. This is the last tier, and like I said, this is like the least important one. Actually, I shouldn't say that, but the books on this shelf are the books that I do want to read, and of course I will get to them, but they have to move up, you know. So these are the books on the bottom shelf, but that does not mean that they are the least important and stuff like that. No, I'm sure I will love some of these books, you know. So I don't know what else I want to say, but let's get started. Ow, my stomach hurts. So starting from the left, I have Winter Girls by Laurie Halse Anderson, and this book is signed to me. Where is it? Oh my god, where is it? Right here, Trinh Tastes Life by Laurie Halse Anderson, and I got this book a long time ago from my old high school, and then I got it signed just 2 months ago. So I really want to read this book because this is the only book I have by Laurie Halse Anderson. Well, wait, let me rephrase that. This is the only book I have in my possession that I have not read when it comes to Laurie Halse Anderson. I have read Speak multiple times and now I think about it. So I have Winter Girls, and I really want to read this book because I've heard really good things about it. And here I have The Nowhere Girls by Amy Reed. So I really want to read this book because I heard it's about feminism, and it also contains intersectional feminism, and this book is not signed, so I don't know why I opened it. But I've heard nothing but amazing things about this book, and I really want to read a book about intersectional feminism because I think that is very important, way more important than white feminism. And then here I have A Very Large Expanse of Sea by Tahara Mafi. So this is, I believe, Tahara Mafi's first YA contemporary novel, and I've heard really great things about this book, and I believe is inspired by her life, you know, Tahara Mafi's life. So I really want to read it, and yeah, I have it. So I'm getting really awkward right now. This is American Panda by Gloria Chow, and this book will move up really quickly because I want to read this book in April because I need to read a lot of books by Asian authors about Asian main characters and such for my recommendation video coming out in May, hopefully. The next book I have is A Light Too Bright by Samuel Miller. So I got this book, I think in September of 2018, and I really want to read it because I've heard nothing but amazing things on Goodreads. I feel like not a lot of people on BookTube talk about this book. So I bought this and I really want to read it because I've heard, or like I've read some really good reviews on Goodreads. So really want to pick this up. The next book is The Female of the Species by Mindy McGinnis. I have heard nothing but amazing things about this book also, and I've heard that it talks about rape and rape culture, so very interested about this book, so it's on this list. My Voice is Slowly Going Away. This is great. And here I have Piecing Me Together by Renee Watson, and I got this book on Book Outlet, and I believe my friend Marshall from high school, I don't think she watches my video, but she did give me some book recommendations like last year or so, and I have the 3 books that she told me that I should read, and I have not read them yet. So this is the second book on her list, so I have it. I want to read it to make her proud. And then the next book I have is Eliza and Her Monsters by Francesca Sapia. So this book I got recently but from my brother for Christmas, so I have it right here, and I really want to read it because I've heard that this is very similar to Fangirl. I love Fangirl by Rainbow Rowell, so I cannot wait to read a book that's like quite similar to it, so very excited about this book. And then this is the book that Marshall told me to read. It's called American Street by E.B. Zaboy. So this is the 3rd book that Marshall told me to read, so I have it. Haven't read it yet. And then here I have Star-Crossed by Barbara D, and I got this at Book Outlet also, and I really want to read this book because this is, I believe, a middle grade book about 2 girls falling in love, so I think that's really cute. What's crazy is that I discovered this book on Tumblr, and then people talk about it a little bit, and then it was on sale on Book Outlet, and then here it is in my house. The next book I have is Turtles All the Way Down by John Green, and this is a signed copy, as you can see right here, and I got this on Book Outlet I think this month. I could be wrong, or last month, I don't know. And I want to read it because I've heard nothing but amazing things about Turtles All the Way Down, and I haven't read a John Green book in a really long time, like since when I was in high school. The next book I have is Moxie by Jennifer Mathieu, and this is a book about feminism also, and I really want to read this because I've heard really amazing things about this book, and I think it's going to be turned into a movie. I think it is. There are so many novels being turned into movies and TV shows, and I cannot keep up, so I think this will be turned into a movie, I think. And then the last book on this tier is Strange the Dreamer by Laini Taylor. So I really want to pick this book up because I've heard nothing but amazing things about this book, but also I've heard mixed things about this book. I don't know, it all depends on who you are and your reading taste, I guess, because some people love this book but some people do not really love this book. So I want to read this book because I think I will love it. I could be wrong, honestly, but the cover is shiny. That does not mean that it's good. Okay, anyway, I do want to read this book, and I think I will sometime in 2019. So oh my god, I'm like a cat. Look at that, it's so shiny. Anyway, time to put everything back together so I can film the outro. I think I have my own process, and I'm sure other people have their own process, but this process works for me. So this is the very important shit, and then these two shelves are still important, you know, but not as important as these two. That sounds so bad. So that's it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoy it. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe for more videos, and I will see you guys later. Goodbye.